Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world to all the brave hearts and all of those people that want to find their brave heart. Okay, today's one a day is about, guess what? This is as good as it gets. Okay, first of all, anybody tells you that this is as good as it gets has limited beliefs. That's it. They just have limited beliefs. You know what? This is not as good as it gets. Am I as good as it gets? Absolutely not. I'm as good as I can get right now, but I'm not as good as it can get. You can find someone that can do it better than me, and I know that. And I search every day for someone that does things better than me, that loves better than me, that thinks better than me, that eats better than me, that drinks better than me, that knows how to feed their spirit better than me. And then I learn from them. And then guess what? If you aren't challenging yourself to go out there and look for people that do it better than you, okay, or that have paved it already, then what are you doing? What are you doing? You are an unlimited light energy, electrical magnetic being, and you haven't even hatched from your infancy yet. Okay, you still got subconscious, unconscious diapers on like me, okay? And understand something right now. When anybody tells you that this is as good as it gets, guess what? They're either wanting your money, okay? They're doubting themselves but don't want to look foolish. And understand something, I'm not as good as it gets. I'm not. I get it. But I'm going to give you the best that I have. And every day I promise you, and I swear that I will change by 1% every day. And then I will do it for every day that I live here. And that means my change will actually be upping my vibration, upping my frequency, putting more light inside my heart, and to shine that out to the world. And I will prove this too. This is not some kind of lame pitch that I'm reading here. This is something, and even if I don't even believe it yet, I'm going to keep repeating it because it's where I want to go. You know, people say, well, I'm not going to tell myself that, you know, I'm abundant on all levels because I'm not, Dr. Wolf. And I'm going, that's right. And you keep on telling yourself that story, okay? And that's as good as it gets. Your story is as good as it gets. And every one of your stories, and I said every one of them, maybe 1 out of 100, maybe 1 out of 1,000, that's it, baby, are actually steeped in unconditional love and care for yourself. The other 99 or 999 are steeped in their BS. So you need to get this. These psychos, they get together and they think it's so funny. We just started another war. Oh, we just made another drug that's going to kill more people than it's going to help. Oh my God, these people actually believe that if they get things chopped out of their body that they're actually going to heal. My God, it creates more scar tissue and inflammation than anything else in the world. And that's why you may not have pain after it, but you're so stiff you feel like you're going to break in half. The reality is when a doctor says to somebody, Mrs. Jones, you need to go home and get your affairs in order because we've reached our limit. The chemo's not going to work, okay, which is mustard gas. Did you know that? Why don't you do some homework? Radiation, it's not going to work on you anymore. Well, guess what? Everybody's got a microwave. Save the money, do it for yourself, I guess. I don't know. And as far as the drugs go, most of the drugs are probably out there on the street would make you feel better than theirs. And how many people... If I told you right now that I've got 50 people I'm trying to get off, I'm not trying to get off. They're trying to get off their medication, and I'm helping them. Okay, so everybody that starts taking prescription drugs wants to get off of them because they lose their spirit, they lose their energy, they lose their clarity, they lose their life force. That's all it was meant to do. Drugs are made from petroleum. Petroleum comes from the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers decide to get rid of all the glass and have everything in plastic, so now we're all plastic poisoned. I can keep going and going, but there is no corporations that are on your side. There is no government official that's on your side unless he's local or he's just in your neighborhood. Maybe he's going to help you get a sandbox or a swing. But once you get higher than that, okay, you're just a two-legged parasite. And you might think, oh my God, you're just over the top, Dr. Wolf. Well, let me just say this. Yes, I am. And do I exaggerate? Yes, I do. But do you exaggerate? I'm poor. I can't make money. I never will be able to. You know, whenever I'm sick, they said I have a disease that's uncurable. You know, Mrs. Jones, go home and get your affairs in order, because guess what? A person of your age and with your condition has 3 months to live. So go home and tell your family. You have no idea on how that boils my blood, okay? I'm not angry at them for saying it. They're just programmed robots. But the reality is this: where's the love? Don't give me the bullshit about love. Love sucks, okay? The only thing that really doesn't suck is unconditional love and care for yourself and becoming the light. When you feed off of other people to get your love and to get your approvals, okay? When you take things personal, we know that you haven't even taken baby steps on honoring, loving, and respecting yourself with this God-given gift that you've been given called a spirit. Seriously. And just know this. Lori says, don't go into it too deep anymore because you're going to blow people's brains. But just know the human body and the human brain was manipulated 250,000 years ago. That's why we can't think for ourselves. That's why we can actually get people actually feeding us poisons, and then we feed them to our families. And then when we go out to celebrate, we poison ourselves. There's no alcohol that's good for you. And you can believe me or not believe me, but if you buy one of my structure units and you run the alcohol through, you will reduce the poisons by 90% to 95%, destroying your body and your brain. That's what it does, right? Alcohol turns into a toxic poison that goes in and destroys your brain, okay? And if they can destroy your brain and how it functions, and you can't run programs properly, then you're a dysfunctional computer. So understand this. If you use the medical care as your health care, then you haven't even woken up yet, because nowhere are they even health care. They've got nothing to do with health. Tell me what they got to do with health. Why don't you just sit down, calmly breathe, put a slight smile on, and go, would God give them the stamp of approval with their chemo, their radiation, and chopping pieces out of people's bodies? And understand, the only reason why you've got a tumor, the only reason why you got scar tissue and displaced calcium is because you don't have proper circulation. And guess what? We can get every bit of calcium that came out of your bones, that's calcium deposits, whether they're called kidney stones, gallstones, whether it's a calcium deposit in your breast, or it won't let you move your joint anymore because it's all calcified, and it can be reversed. Oh yeah, let me tell you, Wolf Non-Surgical, our nutraceuticals, our Cellsonic, okay, our Cardio Med Bed, I will give you a money back guarantee that we will prove it to you in the first day that you come to us. Now, I live in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and I'm going to be opening up an exclusive healing center. I'm not going to do the same old thing. I've got thousands of practitioners all over the world that have power pack clinics and that do non-surgical, and they do treatments every day, and people can go to them. The people that will be coming to myself and Dr. Sage Wolf in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, okay, or Texas, to our clinic there, they will be just personal treatment and trainings where they come for 7 to 14 days to become their own practitioner, to become their own doctor, to say, you know what, Dr. Wolf, we don't need you, okay? And we're even going to do things better than you did. And I'm going to go, hell yeah. And guess what? Everybody that's coming to my course here on Monday, I tell them, you don't leave here being me. You leave here finding you. And then guess what? You call me up and say, guess what? I figured out how to do it better than you, Daryl. And the name would be Daryl. It's not doctor. That's flybait, by the way. But I do deserve doctor because I am a doctor. And then people come on here just like somebody just posted here. You're not a real doctor. Yeah, I'm not a real boy either, Pinocchio. So the reality is here is that you have to understand something. When they tell you this is as good as it gets, you got to understand something. That's just BS. Because we are light energy, electrical, magnetic beings. We are universal. Okay, too bad we couldn't come together because we hate that color, or we hate this color, or we don't like that religion, or we think our religion is the one that's going to get to go to heaven, when heaven is a present moment that you own it, and that's it. So you can take your stories and your fables and all that stuff, and I'm not putting religion down, because I'm sure there are religions out there that make people feel unconditional love and glory and teach them to live in the moment with a smile on their face and not, guess what, send themselves to jail. What happens when you judge yourself or someone else? Well, when you judge yourself or someone else, that is a judge, right? So the judge is going to bring out the sentence, right? And then that sentence is going to create an invisible prison, okay? A prison of, honey, I've only got 3 weeks to live. And I'm not mocking it. But the reality is I call BS. Anything that they say, the medical system says, is going to be wrong. They don't come from love and they don't come from caring. They come from the love of power, not from the power of love. And I'm going to tell you something right now. They're not coming from a place because they're evil. So I want that said right now. Medical doctors are not evil. Okay? All right? We're all poverty conscious, no matter how much money we make. I can remember a time when I ran the Wolf Clinic and it was in the top 100,000 of all the websites in the world. When the internet came out, I was on there right away. And I was in the top 100,000 of all the websites in the world. And then 11 years ago, I came back into business, started all over again. But I took 10 years off and I lived down in the Amazon rainforest. And then I also went to Kathmandu, mountain climbing. I did my own thing because I never thought I wanted to come back to health again. And guess what? I needed to change. I needed to become abundant, and not in the financial way, but I need to become abundant in the way I love and care for myself. Because I can only teach what I am, or I can bullshit people for a while, but they're going to find out that I'm not authentic, right? And to be authentic to yourself and love and care for yourself and make mistakes, or even know that a whole bunch of people are judging you, and sitting calmly with the creator of everything, and not ever hurting yourself or putting yourself in judgment jail again. Remember something, when you judge yourself or judge someone else, there has to be a sentence carried out. And that sentence, how long do you want to do it for? You know, I haven't talked to my brother in 20 years. Why is that? Well, I can't really remember. It's just we don't get along. Boom, boom. Okay, all right, I get it. Now, there's people that I'm not going to go out of my way to talk to. There's people I'm not going to go out of my way to talk to be with. And they've got different beliefs. And understand something, there's haters of the world, there's people that fear everything about their life. I mean, it's just really hard to be around those people. But if they come to my course or they call me for a consultation, I'm there, all guns blazing. Can I have a what? I don't know what that is. Anyways, so a what? All I'm going to tell you this is when somebody tells you this is as good as it gets, it's not true. And I'm going to tell you something. Do not live in a little tiny world. All right, no matter what the country is, they're always going to say it's the best country to live in the world. And understand something, I travel the world. I'm doing the course here, and then I'm going to Barrie, Ontario to do a New World Practitioner course, Whole Life Coach course, and Wolf Non-Surgical. Oh, but before that, my son Sage is flying to, in February, he's flying to Melbourne, and he's doing a Wolf Non-Surgical. And you really want to jump on this if you live in Australia or New Zealand or because Wolf Non-Surgical will give you a 3-day money-back guarantee. I don't care if you are a chiropractor, physiotherapist, massage therapist, shiatsu therapist, any kind of body worker. In 3 days, we'll give you your money back if we can't prove that our technique can pull fibroids apart and take somebody that was booked for surgery, whether it's a knee, a spine, or anywhere else, and it's reversed. That's the deal. And you can say, wow, this guy must be desperate with his BS. I am not desperate. And it is BS. It's my belief system, and I've proven it for, I brought out Wolf Non-Surgical just short of 40 years ago, and given a money-back guarantee, and we're not giving money back. Why is that? Why is that? So you need to understand something. Is there better body work than mine? I haven't found it yet, but I'm sure there is. And if it is out there, please contact me, because I'd like to add it to my trainings, okay? Because it takes a tribe. It takes a tribe to do this. And understand something. My phone number is 469-861-8884. I'm always open to talk, because guess what? Okay? This is how much I know. But I know this much really well. I'd like to know that much really well. And I need help. Okay? So understand something. If we come together as a Braveheart Nation and truly do love ourselves and stop joining America, okay? I love my country, but, you couldn't get me to go to war with anyone, not a neighbor, not anybody in another country, because guess what? Everybody in every other country, all those mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, they don't want anything to do with this war. And the only people that go to war are people that go to war with themselves already, or they want to become a hero. And they should have become a hero to themselves and their family. But no, they decided they'd go off to war. And tell me how many war vets, just the ones that can't admit it, will come back and talk about their war stories. And, and please don't get me wrong. I feel for everyone that went to war. But don't go to war with yourself. Don't go to war with your family. And for God's sake, stop going to war with people you don't even know, that never even did anything to you. And stop spreading that bullshit. And understand something. This is not as good as it gets. There's enough water on this planet for 100 billion people. There's enough food, there's enough air, there's enough space. And there is no climate change. And yes, there is a climate change. And if you want to go back in history 500 years, go back 1,000 years, and you'll see everything is cyclical. Just as the sun rises, the sun sets. And right now, things are warming up, but nobody's going to burn up. Listen, 20 years ago, they told us that we were going to, remember that movie? What was his name in it? And the whole world was going to freeze to ice. Well, that we didn't gobble on that story, but you know what? But we're going to gobble on the heat one, because they went, oh my God, no, we're in the cycle right now of the planet where it's going to heat up a couple of degrees, and the ocean, and we're going to, if you want to, why don't you just go? And the guy his last name was Gore. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Gore. Anyways, just know this. You know what? He was standing beside an iceberg, and he was saying, this used to be a glacier and it was shrunk. It never did. Guys, you're being taken. So understand, this is not as good as it gets. I am not as good as it gets. Every day I want to get better. So understand that. I make mistakes, but I'm not a sinner. Okay, do I sin? Yes, I do. I miss the mark. But then I'm going to practice and keep on sinning. So what should I do? Judge myself and put myself in some invisible jail, like the one that you put yourself in? You put your daughter in, you put your husband in, you put your wife in, you put the world in? Let me tell you something. We came down here to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And I want to say something. Do me a favor. You know the things that you used to hold yourself on the hook for? The things that used to choke you? I'm giving you 3 seconds, no matter what you have done, to get back to unconditional love for yourself. And if you actually think that there's a guy in the sky that says that you didn't suffer for that week like your religion taught you, or a month, or like your mommy and daddy taught you, what a bunch of BS. So do you actually think that that which created the whole universe is interested in how much terrorizing, suffering, pain that it can create for us? No, I get it. There's an entity down here, and if you go watch Monsters, Inc., it's a cartoon. It's no cartoon. They feed off our emotions. They get really charged up from our emotions. But do you know what gives them their super orgasm? Okay, I mean, where they get orgasmic? Why don't you ask all the people in upper government? Is when children are being hurt, when we're at war, when we're killing each other. That's what they get off on. And you know what? Just know this. If you can't find love in your heart for yourself and fill up your own heart every day, then you're using everybody as a gas tank to fill you up. I don't need you to love me. I need you to love yourself. And then I will praise you for making this world a better place. God bless and have a beautiful day.